Hey, this is Kenny with Hobo Lifestyle. I just wanted to show you guys a map and what I do when I'm about to go hitchhiking somewhere. People wonder how long it takes to get from one place to another, so this is how I sort of gauge. So let's start with like a big trip. If you're gonna go from Los Angeles to New York, like just shoot across the country, and we're in Virginia for some reason. So first what I'll do, Los Angeles to New York, punch that in and see what Google tells me. Wants me to fly, which I'm not going to do. Okay, so this is one of the cool things about the new Google Maps is it already gives you multiple routes, what they're going to be like. And here you can see it once you take I-40 for starters. And up here it's also 41 hours either way, total driving time. Either route you take, but you're kind of going to take what you can get unless you specifically want to go to Denver or Albuquerque. Because coming out of LA can be a bit of a hassle, especially if you got to cut all the way through it. So depending on where you're at in LA, you can see it's just a big mess of roads. So you might be getting a lot of really short rides, a lot of 5-mile rides, 20-mile rides, but just kind of take what you can get, because it can be difficult, especially in the thick of the city where there's nowhere for cars to pull over, really, in some spots. So what I'll do, I'll show you that first, I guess, is I'll zoom in. Let's say, obviously you can tell I've been to Hollywood. I use the star feature on Google Maps quite a bit, just for different bars I like, friends' houses, that sort of thing. But you can zoom right in, and let's say you're in Hollywood and you want to get the hell out this way. I think I've actually already started some of the on-ramps I like, but if I don't know a spot, I'll just zoom right in, look for the closest on-ramp to the highway I'm going to, then I'll go over here and switch into satellite mode. And this will kind of give me a really good idea of what that actual on-ramp looks like, if there's room for a car to pull over. This is extremely helpful, because the last thing you want to do is walk 2-3 miles to some on-ramp just to find out that there's zero shoulder, nowhere for people to pull over. So yeah, this is what this star is. I did mark this. So you can see this isn't the best. There's like a guardrail right here, but at least there's some room. And by Los Angeles standards, this is a decent little ramp where people can kind of pull over. Especially up here, there's more room. And you can kind of walk down here, and depending on the police and that sort of thing, they might see you here. Technically, you're not supposed to be on the freeway, but usually they mean up here. Depending on the cop, they might tell you to physically stand right here. Whatever, it's worth risking it. They're not going to arrest you or anything unless you're a dickhead. So, anyways, that's how I'll pick my initial spot, especially in LA, where it sucks. For that reason, anyway. Yeah, then just catch the rides you can. Sort of, you can follow the route, but whatever. In this cluster, just take whatever you can get that's kind of going towards the 10. I would definitely even ride the 10 if someone was going far, if they were going to Phoenix. Phoenix is also kind of a mess for hitchhiking, but if you can get out of LA and start making hundreds of miles, good on you. But yeah, definitely I would angle to go up this way. Yeah, Barstow is kind of where you have to make your choice, and hopefully you get a ride that's going through Barstow, and it kind of makes your choice for you. They're either going to be going up towards Vegas, or going to be going out towards Kingman and Flagstaff this way. So, yeah, I would take whichever ride you can get. If you do get dropped off in Barstow, then it's kind of your decision to make. See, personally, I guess it would depend on the time of year. If it was a little colder, I'd opt to go this way through Flagstaff. Personally, I would do this anyways just because I like Flagstaff and I would want to go through. And also on I-40, you have a great chance of getting a straight ride. I mean, the ride you get out of Barstow is most likely going at least to Flagstaff. You get a decent ride. You might get some little short ride, but that's fine. You can also stand on the highway out in this stretch. The cops kind of know it's desert. They'll sort of give you a pass in most cases. So yeah, you keep on going this way, Flagstaff, and pretty much from LA to Vegas is a day hitchhiking. Los Angeles to Flagstaff could be a day. It's a little more of a stretch. Really, it all depends how early you start and how long it takes to get out of Los Angeles. Because half your day could be here, and then the other half could be getting all the way to Flagstaff. That's just kind of the difference. So let's go this route. Hitchhiking out of Vegas, you can stand a little bit north of the Strip. Sometimes if you get caught in the Strip, you can get like one of those $1.25 buses to go to the Speedway, and that's sort of the north side of town, and you can stand right on the freeway there, and then you're definitely going to get to Salt Lake City in a day once you get out of here, most likely. But you don't have to go to Salt Lake City. I would actually hop out right here, because this little junction is in the middle of nowhere. There's no gas station right here or anything. It just breaks away to 70, so you can get out, walk on the freeway, and then when people pick you up, they're going a ways. They might be going to one of the national parks, but there's also a pretty good chance they're going to Grand Junction. If you get a trucker, there's a great chance he's going to Denver from this little spot. So it's a long day from Vegas to Denver, but it's possible that you'd arrive in Denver in the middle of the night on a good day. But yeah, one day from Vegas to Salt Lake, and a really good day, Vegas to Denver. And then out of Denver, Denver's kind of messy too, depending on where you get dropped off. But people are, just used to seeing hitchhikers, I guess, in Denver, so I get picked up pretty easily there, and then it's just a matter of getting across. And then once you get east of Denver, again, it's going to be pretty good stretch. I would actually not go this way if I had the choice. I would keep going on I-70 from Denver, because this stretch from Denver to Kansas City, again, is just mostly nothingness. There's haze in there somewhere. We zoom in enough, we can find it. I don't know. But yeah, people are usually just driving straight through, and maybe you get someone going to Topeka or something, but maybe that person is cool and you can crash with them for the night or something, which is not all too uncommon. The reason I wouldn't go up this route is because, I don't know, even though Nebraska is like a pretty good drivable stretch and there are trucks going all the way on 80, I just wouldn't want to get caught up in this part of Chicago. There's just be a lot of short little rides. 70 just seems better to me. Kansas City's pretty big as well, but in my experience, I've always gotten a ride straight through, and the on-ramps are still pretty nice in Kansas City, so you can still keep catching rides. And I-70 is also a huge trucker route, so you do have the chance of getting all the way through in one go. And back, if you had taken the southern route instead of going north, again, it's the same thing, like Flagstaff to Albuquerque. Albuquerque, a lot of trucks and stuff will stop there. A lot of people will stop there, so you could get caught up in there. But then it's a nice little stretch. Might get dropped off in Amarillo. Oklahoma City, again, you have the choice of going down this way or just coming straight up. Once you start getting east, it gets a little bit crazier, just because you can even just see from the map there's a lot of roads going to a lot of different places, a lot of huge cities out here. But should be pretty good getting through, just because if you're going to New York anyway, because it's obviously the biggest target out here. Pennsylvania is pretty nice for hitchhiking, just because there's not a lot on that main interstate as far as huge towns, so you cruise pretty well, and big spacious on-ramps. Ohio can be a little weird because, I don't know, I've had weird experiences with the police, never arrested or anything like that, but they tend to not like hitchhikers as much, and they'll claim it's illegal, even though I don't think it is. And also, there's toll booths. It's like a toll road, so you can't really just walk right up onto the highway, which is kind of annoying because sometimes that's the best thing to do if you're in like a dead zone where there's, so you get dropped off at some on ramp where there's just nothing there, so you just kind of got to walk on the highway just to see traffic. But so let's see, how long should it take to get from LA to New York? I've made it in like 3 days before, but that was extremely lucky. But let's say it takes you 1 day to Vegas, 2 days, you're kind of shy, Denver. On the third day, you could easily be somewhere in Kansas. Day 4, you could be out Illinois kind of area. Day 5, you're here. Day 6, you're in New York. That's about usually what it takes me. A little less than a week to get across on average. Anything more than a week is kind of on the long side, because also inevitably if you're going all the way across the country, you're gonna get that killer ride, that 500 mile, 1,000 mile, 1,500 mile ride from somebody. Like eventually that ride seems to always come, that just like takes up a huge chunk. And that's of course if you're just trying to get there and you don't want to like stop and party in Denver or party in Oklahoma City, I guess. So yeah, I guess that's what I would say. 6 days on average is like a pretty good run to get across. Hope that's a little helpful. And if you guys like this video, I'll do some more. I love maps, so maybe next time I'll do a little California one. Because California's pretty fun, and hitchhiking, there's a lot of different stuff to kind of know about. Sacramento sucks. First thing you should learn. Except for the beer. Beer's pretty good. Alright, well, hope that was helpful, and until next time, good times.